Imagine your grocery store vanish tomorrow. No fluorescent lit aisles, no 24/7 convenience, no endless supply of strawberries in December. For most of us, it's a scenario that triggers a low-grade panic. Our pantries might get us through a week, maybe two. But what if you could walk into your basement and see an entire year's worth of food neatly lined up in shimmering glass jars? An edible library of summer's bounty, ready to feed your family through the harshest winter. This isn't a prepper's fantasy. It's the everyday reality for hundreds of thousands of Amish across North America. They have mastered a system of food security that is so robust, so ingenious, and so, the Amish food year doesn't begin in the kitchen. It begins months earlier, with dirt under their fingernails. The foundation of their entire food system is the family garden. But when we say garden, you need to erase the image of a few polite rows of tomatoes and zucchini. We're talking about a vast, meticulously planned, 1 to 2 acre plot of land that functions as the family's personal grocery store. This isn't a hobby, it's a primary occupation. From the time they are old enough to pull a weed, Amish children are learning the rhythms of the soil. The garden is planned with military precision. They don't just plant what they'd like to eat fresh, they plant with the pantry in mind. This means planting specific varieties of beans that are best for drying, or canning tomatoes, like Roma, which have less water content and more flesh, making for thicker, richer sauces. They plant staggering amounts. An average Amish family might plant hundreds of feet of green beans, dozens of tomato plants, and sprawling patches of corn, beets, and peppers. A study from the Journal of the American Dietetic Association noted that the Amish diet is incredibly high in homegrown fruits and vegetables. This isn't just about saving money, it's about control over their food source, a core tenet of their desire for separation and self-reliance. They use natural fertilizers, manure from their own livestock, and rely on time-tested methods of pest control. This deep connection to the land means they understand their food in a way most of us have lost. They know the entire life story of the potato on their plate, from seed to cellar. As the summer sun reaches its peak, the second phase begins, canning season. This is the Amish Olympics of food preservation. From July through September, the kitchen becomes the heart of the homestead, a hot, humid, fragrant hub of activity. It's an all-hands-on-deck operation. The sheer scale is difficult to comprehend. It's not uncommon for an Amish family to can between 500 and 1,000 jars of food to last them through the winter and into the next spring. Think about that. That's more than 2 jars of food being preserved every single day for months on end. They can everything. Green beans, corn, beets, carrots, and peas are standard. But it gets more complex. They make jars of vegetable soup starter, pizza sauce, various salsas, and chow chow, a tangy vegetable relish. Fruits are turned into pie fillings, jams, jellies, butters, and juices. Nothing is wasted. The peels from apples being made into applesauce might be simmered to create apple jelly. The process is a beautiful, organized chaos. On one side of the kitchen, younger children might be snapping beans or peeling bushels of peaches. The women, masters of the process, preside over enormous stockpots and steaming pressure canners. Because most old-order Amish homes don't have electricity from the public grid, these canners are heated on top of propane or wood-fired stoves. This isn't just about following a recipe, it's an intuitive art. An experienced Amish woman can tell by the sound of a pressure canner if it's at the right temperature. She knows by feel when the jam has reached its setting point. This knowledge, passed down from mother to daughter for generations, is a form of cultural inheritance more valuable than any physical heirloom. Canning is the star of the show, but it's supported by an incredible cast of other preservation methods. The Amish are masters of taking moisture out of food, the original way to halt spoilage. Dehydration. Long before modern food dehydrators, the Amish were using the sun and the air. Green beans are often strung on long threads and hung in a dry attic or a special drying house until they are brittle. These are known as leather breeches and can be rehydrated in the dead of winter for a taste of summer. Corn is often cut from the cob and dried on screens, providing a sweet, chewy addition to winter soups and stews. Smoking and curing, with no giant freezers to store meat, butchering day, usually in the fall, is another critical event. A hog or a steer is a significant investment, and every single part of it is preserved. Hams and bacon are cured with salt and sugar mixtures and then hung in a smokehouse for weeks. The slow, cool smoke not only preserves the meat but infuses it with a depth of flavor that is impossible to replicate commercially. Other cuts are canned, while sausage is made and often smoked as well. This nose-to-tail approach is the ultimate form of respect for the animal and a powerful lesson in resourcefulness. In a world where we often buy boneless, skinless chicken breasts in styrofoam trays, this holistic approach is a profound statement against waste. So you have 800 jars of food and piles of cured meat. Where do you put it all? The answer lies beneath the ground, in one of the most brilliant and simple pieces of food technology ever created, the root cellar. An Amish root cellar is more than just a dusty basement. It is a carefully engineered environment, a natural refrigerator that costs nothing to run. Dug deep into the earth, it maintains a consistent temperature, typically between 32 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 to 4.5 degrees Celsius, and a high level of humidity. These are the perfect conditions for storing a whole other category of food. The shelves are lined with those hundreds of glistening jars of canned goods, protected from light and temperature fluctuations. But elsewhere in the cellar, bins are filled with potatoes, carrots, turnips, and winter squash. Boxes of apples and pears are stored carefully, often wrapped individually in newspaper to prevent them from touching and spreading rot. Onions and garlic hang in braided bunches from the ceiling beams. You'll find wheels of homemade cheese aging on wooden planks and crocks of fermenting sauerkraut. This subterranean pantry is the family's grocery store from November to April. When it's time to make dinner, the matriarch doesn't go to the supermarket, she goes shopping in her cellar. It represents true food freedom. A blizzard can rage, the power can go out for days, but the family will continue to eat well, completely insulated from the disruptions of the outside world. You can have the biggest garden and the most organized cellar, but the Amish have one final ingredient that makes their system truly resilient: community. Food preservation is rarely a solitary act. It's an event. Sisters, aunts, cousins, and neighbors will often gather for a canning frolic. One family might have a surplus of apples, while another has an abundance of green beans. They trade, they share labor, and they share knowledge. A young, newly married woman learning the ropes of her first large-scale canning season will be guided by the steady hands of her elders. This cooperative spirit extends beyond preservation. If a family falls on hard times, if a father is injured or a crop fails, the community quietly steps in. Jars of food will appear on the doorstep. Neighbors will come to help tend the garden. This is their form of insurance, a social safety net woven from relationships and mutual obligation. As sociologist Donald Craybill notes, this interdependence is the glue that holds Amish society together. In our modern world, we often strive for radical independence. The Amish teach us that true strength and true security might actually lie in our willingness to depend on one another. The Amish way of canning an entire year's worth of food is more than a set of old-fashioned skills. It's a philosophy. It's a declaration of independence from a fragile, complicated system. It's a testament to the power of hard work, foresight, and community. So, what can we, in our modern lives, learn from this? Most of us aren't going to plant a 2-acre garden or build a root cellar, but we can embrace the spirit of the Amish pantry. You don't need to can 800 jars. Try making one batch of strawberry jam or a few jars of pickled cucumbers from the farmer's market. Experience the simple magic of capturing a season in a jar. Second, reduce waste. Before you throw out those slightly soft apples, think like an Amish grandmother. Could they become applesauce? Could those vegetable scraps become a stock? This mindset of resourcefulness is a skill that benefits both your wallet and the planet. Third, build community around food. Instead of just meeting friends for dinner, try organizing a freezer stocking day where you all cook large batches of meals to share. Trade your surplus garden zucchini for your neighbor's tomatoes. Building these small webs of food interdependence makes our own lives richer and more secure. The Amish pantry is a quiet rebellion. It's a choice to value skill over convenience, quality over quantity, and community over consumption. It reminds us that food is not just a commodity to be bought, but a story to be lived. A story that starts with a tiny seed and ends, not in a landfill, but around a family table, enjoying the stored-up sunlight of a summer long past. What if I told you there's a community living in the heart of modern America that has unlocked the secrets to incredible physical strength and robust health, without ever stepping foot inside a gym? A community where obesity is nearly non-existent and diseases that plague the rest of the country are remarkably rare. They don't have Fitbits, they don't count calories, and their kitchens certainly don't have air fryers. They are the Amish. And their simple, centuries-old way of life holds profound lessons for our fast-paced, convenience-obsessed world. This isn't about romanticizing a bygone era. It's about rediscovering a timeless wisdom that our bodies are crying out for. They eat like their great-great-grandparents. In our world, food trends come and go faster than TikTok dances. 1 minute it's keto, the next it's paleo, then it's plant-based everything. The Amish, however, aren't chasing trends. They're eating the same way their ancestors did in the 18th and 19th centuries. Their diet is built on a foundation of whole, unprocessed foods that they grow and raise themselves. Think of it this way: your great-great-grandmother wouldn't recognize 90% of what's in a modern supermarket. The fluorescent-lit aisles of packages, powders, and pre-made meals would be completely alien. The Amish are still eating from a pantry your ancestors would understand. Their meals are hearty and simple: fresh eggs for breakfast, a big midday meal of roasted chicken, potatoes, and vegetables straight from the garden, and a lighter supper of leftovers or soup. It's a diet free from the thousands of chemical additives, preservatives, and artificial flavorings that have become the hallmark of the standard American diet. A study from the University of Maryland that looked at the Amish community in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, found that their diet is high in healthy fats, complex carbohydrates, and homegrown fruits and vegetables. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most revolutionary thing you can do for your health is to simply eat real food. Takeaway tip: for 1 week, try to eat only foods that your great-great-grandparents would recognize. You might be surprised at how much better you feel. The farm-to-table lifestyle isn't a trend, it's a reality. We pay a premium for farm-to-table restaurants. For the Amish, it's just eating. There's an incredible intimacy and connection to their food that we've largely lost. An Amish family knows the exact patch of earth their potatoes came from. They can probably tell you the name of the cow that produced the milk for their cheese. This isn't just about freshness, it's about the nutrient density of the food. When a carrot is pulled from the soil and eaten within hours, it retains a far higher level of vitamins and minerals than a carrot that's been trucked across the country and sat in a supermarket for a week. The Amish also practice traditional farming methods, like crop rotation and using natural fertilizers. This results in healthier soil, and healthier soil produces more nutritious food. It's a beautiful, self-sustaining cycle that modern agriculture has, in many ways, broken. So while we might be getting our 5 a day, the nutrient content of that produce can vary wildly. The Amish are getting a powerful dose of phytonutrients, antioxidants, and beneficial microbes in every single bite. Full fat is the only fat. The low-fat craze of the 80s and 90s did a real number on our health. We were told to fear fat, and instead, we loaded up on sugar and refined carbohydrates. The Amish never got that memo. In an Amish kitchen, you'll find whole milk, real butter, and cheese made from full-fat dairy. They use lard for cooking and baking without a second thought. And here's the kicker: despite this high-fat diet, a 2004 study found the obesity rate among the Amish to be a mere 4%, compared to over 30% in the general American population at the time. Today, that number for the general population is even higher. How is this possible? Because the fats they consume are natural and unprocessed. They're not the trans fats found in margarine and packaged snacks. These are healthy, saturated fats that provide long-lasting energy and are essential for hormone production and brain health. They're a perfect example of how a diet rich in healthy fats can lead to better health outcomes and a leaner physique. They prove that it's not the fat that's the enemy, but the type of fat and the processed junk it often comes with. Takeaway tip: don't be afraid of healthy, full-fat foods. Swap that low-fat yogurt for the full-fat version and use real butter instead of margarine. Fermentation is their superpower. Long before kombucha became a hipster staple, the Amish were mastering the art of fermentation. This wasn't for health fads, it was a practical way to preserve the harvest through the long winter months. Their cellars are lined with jars of sauerkraut, pickled beets, and fermented pickles. What they were doing out of necessity, science is now telling us, is a cornerstone of good health. These fermented foods are teeming with probiotics, beneficial bacteria that are crucial for gut health. A healthy gut microbiome is linked to everything from a stronger immune system and better digestion to improved mental health. In a world where our gut health is constantly under assault from processed foods, antibiotics, and stress, the Amish are naturally replenishing their internal ecosystem with every meal. It's like having a daily tune-up for your digestive system. Sugar is a treat, not a staple. While the Amish aren't afraid of a good shoofly pie or a slice of homemade cake, their relationship with sugar is fundamentally different from ours. For them, dessert is a special occasion treat, not an everyday expectation. The vast majority of their diet is savory. They don't have sugary cereals for breakfast, they don't drink sodas, and their snacks aren't candy bars. The hidden sugars that are rampant in our food supply, in everything from pasta sauce to salad dressing, are virtually absent in their diet. The average American consumes around 17 teaspoons of added sugar per day. For the Amish, that number is dramatically lower. This simple difference has a profound impact on their metabolic health, protecting them from insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and the inflammatory effects of a high-sugar diet. The biggest meal is in the middle of the day. In the modern world, we tend to have a light breakfast, a rushed lunch at our desks, and then a huge dinner late at night. The Amish flip this on its head. Their largest meal, called middagesen, is served at midday. This makes perfect sense when you think about it. They're eating their biggest meal when their bodies are most active and best able to digest and utilize the calories for energy throughout the rest of the workday. A lighter supper in the evening means their bodies aren't trying to digest a heavy meal while they're sleeping. This front-loading of calories aligns with our natural circadian rhythms. Eating a large meal late at night has been linked to weight gain and poor sleep quality. The Amish practice of a hearty midday meal is a simple yet powerful strategy for maintaining a healthy weight and getting a good night's rest. Takeaway tip: try making lunch your biggest meal of the day for a week. You might find you have more energy in the afternoon and sleep better at night. They practice incidental exercise all day long. This is perhaps the most crucial secret of all, and it's not strictly about diet, but it's intrinsically linked. The Amish don't have gyms because their entire life is a workout. A study that tracked the physical activity of Amish farmers found that the men took an average of 18,000 steps a day, and the women took around 14,000. For context, the average American takes fewer than 5,000 steps a day. This isn't exercise in the way we think of it. It's not a 30-minute session on a treadmill. It's constant, low-intensity movement woven into the fabric of their daily lives. It's plowing fields, milking cows, tending gardens, chopping wood, and building barns. It's what experts call non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT, and it's a powerful driver of metabolism. While we drive everywhere, take elevators, and sit at desks for 8 hours a day, the Amish are in a state of perpetual motion. Their strength isn't built in a gym, it's forged through a lifetime of meaningful, physical work. The power of community and mindful eating. In our world, eating is often a solitary and rushed affair. We eat in our cars, at our desks, and in front of the television. For the Amish, meals are a cornerstone of community and family life. They sit down together, say grace, and share food that they have all had a hand in producing. This act of communal eating fosters a sense of gratitude and mindfulness. It slows them down, allowing their bodies to register feelings of fullness and preventing overeating. There's a powerful psychological component to this. When you're eating with others and engaging in conversation, you're not mindlessly shoveling food in. You're savoring it. This deep connection to their food and their community is a powerful antidote to the emotional and stress-related eating that is so common in our society. They embrace seasonal eating. We've become accustomed to having any fruit or vegetable we want at any time of the year. We can buy strawberries in December and asparagus in October. The Amish, by necessity, eat with the seasons. In the spring, they enjoy fresh greens and early vegetables. The summer brings a bounty of tomatoes, corn, and berries. In the fall, they harvest root vegetables, pumpkins, and apples. And in the winter, they rely on the preserved foods from their cellar. This way of eating naturally creates variety in their diet and ensures they are consuming produce at its peak of freshness and nutritional value. It's a rhythm of eating that is in tune with the natural world, a stark contrast to our globalized food system that prioritizes convenience over seasonality. Rest is a pillar of health. In our hustle culture, rest is often seen as a weakness. We burn the candle at both ends, powered by caffeine and a fear of missing out. The Amish have a different perspective. Their lives are dictated by the rising and setting of the sun, not by the blue light of a smartphone. When it gets dark, they rest. They typically get a full 8 or 9 hours of sleep a night. This commitment to rest is as important as their diet and their physical activity. Sleep is when the body repairs itself, consolidates memories, and regulates hormones. The chronic sleep deprivation that so many of us suffer from is linked to a host of health problems, including weight gain, a weakened immune system, and an increased risk of chronic diseases. The Amish understand that true strength isn't just about physical power, it's about having the wisdom to rest and recharge. So, what can we, in our modern world, learn from the Amish? It's not about giving up our cars and our electricity and moving to a farm. It's about understanding the principles that underpin their incredible health and finding ways to incorporate that wisdom into our own lives. It's about choosing real food over processed products. It's about moving our bodies more in natural, everyday ways. It's about cooking more meals at home and sharing them with the people we love. It's about embracing healthy fats and not being afraid of them. And it's about prioritizing rest and disconnecting from the constant noise of the digital world. The Amish diet is not a diet in the modern sense of the word. It's a way of life. It's a testament to the fact that the human body, when given the right fuel and treated with respect, is capable of extraordinary strength and vitality, no gym membership required. The secrets of the Amish aren't really secrets at all. They are simple, timeless truths that we have somehow forgotten. And perhaps, in our quest for health and happiness, the best way forward is to take a look back.